How do you start a toboggan? Good morning everybody, you're here with Ben and we're here in Munich. But not for long though, because today we're going to be summiting Germany's highest peak, the Zugspitze. This is a super manageable day trip if your base is here in Munich, but honestly it's going to work anywhere in Bavaria. Far from just a day trip though, you could also easily make this into a more extended alpine vacation by simply staying at the Zugspitze's closest town, Garmisch-Partenkirchen. I really love this trip, to be honest with you, because it's an all-round. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, because you've got skiing in the winter, you've got hiking in the summer, and beautiful views all year round. It's incredible. Now, if you are a skier, I doubt I have much to tell you, as you've probably already heard all about the Zugspitze, as it's pretty legendary here in Germany. But that being said, me and Camille, who's just behind the camera, we're not skiers at all. So we're just going to be opting for the day trip, and we're going to show you another side of the mountain. Let's go. Okay, so how are we going to get there? Well, the first task is actually get to Garmisch itself. Day trippers like us, with a home base in Munich, should be sure to leave nice and early from the Munich Hauptbahnhof, which is where we are now. I don't know what early is for you, but we're talking like 7:30, which is shockingly early for me. And that's 7:30 on the platform too. I don't like it. This trip takes about an hour or so, meaning if you catch a train any later than, say, 9 AM, you're not going to have enough time to ascend the mountain and chill at the top properly. At least, I don't think so. Never mind. No waiting around. Let's get going. Okay, so we've made it to Garmisch. We need to get from Garmisch HBF over to the Zugspitze station, and I'll explain the rest of the steps once we get there. Okay, so this is the Zugspitze station. This is where you're going to be able to catch the cogwheel train that'll take us up towards the mountain. It runs at every quarter past the hour, starting around 8:15 in the morning. Disclaimer. Always check the timetables yourself. I don't know when they're going to change them. Since we have some time before the train arrives, let's go over how we're actually going to get there and the logistics it entails. There are two main options. You can stay on the cogwheel train all the way up to the glacier and then take a small gondola the rest of the way to the summit. Or you can get off the cogwheel train at Eibsee station and take a large gondola the entire way to the summit. Now, my preferred option is to stay on the cogwheel train and go all the way up to the glacier. It has a couple different benefits. Firstly, there are some things to do up at the glacier that are pretty unique, and I think they're worth your time. And I'll show you them when we get up there. It's a bit of a surprise. It also gives you more time to acclimatize. Not to mention, the Eibsee cable car can be a little daunting. So for those that might not enjoy that, it's far more relaxing to take the cogwheel. It adds about 45 minutes, so keep that in mind when you're planning your day. Time to board. All right, so we're off the cogwheel train here at the Zugspitze. This is where you're going to be able to, just over there, catch the gondola all the way to the summit. First, we need to take stock because we are on something pretty special. You see, we're on Germany's only glacial skiing area. Now, glacial hiking is also available, but we're not going to be able to do any of that today, sadly enough. But not to worry though, because there's plenty more to see and do up here, even if you aren't going to be skiing or hiking like me. Over here, we have Germany's highest church, the Maria Heimsuchung, and an awesome igloo hotel beyond that. Not to mention, there's going to be plenty of tobogganing behind the restaurant. The restaurant itself is going to be a really good place to warm up with a warm drink because I'm already cold, but it's totally worth it. Though I won't be eating there,
I'm going to be saving myself for what we have at the peak. And after we've done all that, we can meet back here, take the gondola ride, and see what's at the very top. Let's actually go check some of this stuff out. This actually isn't the first time that I've been here. We came maybe 4 weeks ago where it was a complete whiteout, and I swear to God, I was too scared to summit this hill. Maybe it doesn't look that daunting to you guys. When you can't see your hand in front of your face, it's like really scary. Also, labored breathing, lots of snow. See, look how far we've come already. So the Maria Heimsuchung, probably not going to be in the running for Germany's oldest church, being that it was erected around 1980. However, I think we can all forgive it, considering the backdrop that they chose is pretty brilliant. Let's do one more. The church, the world. So after you've done seeing the sights and walked around here, there is one more thing. That's the Igloo Hotel. Let's give this a go. Here, let me give you more looks. It's insane. Here, maybe without me in it. See, I'd hoped it wasn't that far. They put these signs up along the whole way so you can get to it. And I have a feeling this whole thing towards our right, that might be the hotel itself. You can stay here for a couple nights. They have different packages ranging from couples and families alike. They have this little outdoor bar. I'm into it. So they have something around the back of this hotel. I see a lot of footprints. So let's go follow them. You come around the corner near the back. They have two, I believe they're couple-sized saunas hidden right out back, and a jacuzzi. I can't really think of anything more fun after a day out here. Let's go back to put the bar around the front. Simple rule with the Igloo Hotel. If you want to go and check it out, which I recommend you do, you need to grab a drink afterwards. It's a bit of a win-win situation. So let's go check it out. All right, let's venture in, shall we? Super meta. They do a bunch of sculptures all along the walls, and then each room also comes with its own sculpture. So you've got clear ice sculptures set in the mood, don't touch them. Yeah, so each room comes with like a whole series of blankets and their own, like your own unique mural. I believe every year they have like their own theme as well. They come in different sizes as well. You've got couples, which is pretty awesome, but you also have family rooms. So imagine bringing all your kids here. That'd be crazy. Selfie bench. And then did you go in the indoor bar? That was the last thing to check out. Look at this. They provide for you their little indoor bar, just in case the weather turns and you don't want to drink outside. I think that about does it for me, aimlessly wandering around the hotel while narrating it. I'm gonna go catch up with Camille and I'll check you guys out when we grab a drink outside. All right, so now as promised, last thing on the list before we take the gondola to the top, will be tobogganing. Let's go. Now I said I wasn't gonna ski and I wasn't gonna do a big hike, but you gotta do something, right? My steed, my camera woman, and my challenge. How do you start a toboggan? Take number 7. Here we go. It's radical. All right guys. So we're done on the Zugspitze glacier. It's now time to actually get to the summit. Let's go. So we've made it to the top of the Zugspitze, and even cooler than that, the top of Germany itself, as this is its highest peak. Cool thing about this is that there are 2 terraces up here. There's a Bavarian and a Tyrolean terrace, because this actually straddles the border between Germany and Austria itself. Back in the day, and by that I mean before the EU and the Schengen zone was created, they actually had a border control station right here that if you wanted to view both terraces, you'd need to get a stamp in your passport to do so. Besides just the terraces though, both actually sport their own cafes. The one on the Bavarian side is actually hosted by Dalmeier, which is a bit of a fancy coffee shop. And though this might be a bit of a convoluted journey just to get coffee, people aren't here for the coffee. They're here for the views. So let's go check them out.
What, I got cold? All right, so it's about time we head down. And we've got about the same two options as before, right? The short gondola and the long train ride. And we've got a more direct gondola to Eibsee and a shorter train ride. But it is a little bit harrowing. For weather and safety reasons, the last gondolas down off the mountain are actually a lot sooner than you'd think, or at least sooner than I thought. The gondola down to Eibsee, being more direct, the final call is 4:45, and the gondola to the glacier, being a lot slower, leaves at 4:25. That's just another reason that you really do need to start your day early here. You don't get to be on the mountain for too long. Now, considering that we took the long train ride and the short gondola already, I'm gonna go for the Eibsee direct gondola. The views can't be beat. And by getting off the mountain that much quicker, we're gonna be able to probably squeeze in a bit of extra time in Garmisch, which I think will be well worth it. It's gonna be a really good ride down, so I'll see you there. So now all we have to do is walk across the road really from the cable car station to the cogwheel train station. The ride, as you've seen, I told you it was harrowing, but well worth it, I'd say. If you want to know a fun fact, which I'm going to tell you anyway, unless you want to skip forward 15 seconds, when we were taking the cogwheel train up on the first cable car of the day, you can actually see people stand on top of the cable car, just like riding it down. It was the freakiest thing I've seen. I don't know why they do that. I guess it's for maintenance. I'm glad someone does it. I'm glad I don't have to. And in the time it took me to tell you that anecdote, we're essentially at the train station now. So there you go. But since we got off the mountain a little bit earlier, we're going to have plenty of time to check out the town. I say town, but I mean towns. I've been calling it Garmisch colloquially, but it's actually called Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It was two towns that were forced to, well, become one town in preparation for the 1936 Winter Olympics. What I find really special about this place, to be honest, is that even though they merged nigh on 90 years ago, they still actually both maintain a really solid identity. The buildings over in Partenkirchen are a little older. Well, a lot older actually. The buildings centered around the main strip, Ludwigstrasse. They're very colorful and traditional, with beautiful murals painted all over the sides. This makes Partenkirchen a great base for a more quiet and traditional alpine vacation. Garmisch is a fair bit more modern, catering to a more international and urban crowd, people who are looking to escape to the mountains, while still maintaining a very Bavarian theme nonetheless. Either way, plenty are beautiful, and there's plenty worth doing here.
Hey, this is Camille and Ben. We just finished at the Zugspitze, and as you know, we're going to go over our recommendations and our impressions of our trip. So, what were your impressions of the Zugspitze?
I think it's fantastic value. I've taken a ton of people there when they come and visit. It's really easy to do as a quick day trip as well. Just from Munich, just spend the day there, come back. You don't even have to spend the night if you don't want to. And just all of the experiences you get in this little package are really cool. I mean, we've got the Igloo Hotel, we've got the actual gondola rides themselves, which are fantastic, and the views cannot be understated. Not to mention, perhaps my favorite thing, just getting a drink at some of those beer gardens up there. They're fantastic. And then Garmisch and Partenkirchen, the two towns, both have a different feel to them, so they're both worth exploring, and I think they're really good fun as well. It's super broad, it's super fun, it's easy to do in a day. It's a great trip.
Yeah, it's just very broadly appealing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can, if you watch other videos, connect it to a lot of the other things in the area as well.
Yeah, if you want to
So
spend
you
a
can
couple
do
days
either.
in Bavaria.
Right.
Yeah. I would say, though,
You got some trepidations?
if you were going to go, because I completely agree with all of you, everything you said, very positive.
Thank you very much.
It's excellent. Please check the weather.
You have to.
The first time we went, we had rented a hotel, so there wasn't anything we could do.
Yeah, we were
we
there.
paid to get to the top of the Zugspitze, and it was a complete whiteout. We couldn't see anything. We couldn't
Nothing.
even stand on the platform because it was so cold and windy.
Right. Couldn't go to like the Igloo Hotel or anything because it was honestly too scary to walk up that hill.
Yeah, so if you do have a few
Which is
days,
embarrassing.
if you have a few days in the area, please check the weather. And there's also a cam.
Yeah, they got webcams.
Yeah, on the Zugspitze website that you can also check out to sort of choose the best day to go up there because it's a lot of money. So it would be unfortunate if you paid money like we did to go all the way up there.
Right. And
not
if we're
see
talking
anything.
trepidations, the last thing that you also need to keep in mind is that even though this is a bit of a touristy area, doesn't matter, it's in Bavaria, it will be closed on Sundays. Not the Zugspitze, but the towns. You know, the beer gardens and cafes and some of the restaurants, they'll still be open, not all of them, sometimes, like little chocolate shops don't open, but all of the shopping and all of those kind of things, that's all done. So just make sure that you're planning this in your itinerary correctly, because the worst case scenario is a whiteout on a Sunday and you can do nothing. But most people never experience that, so, and neither will you if you keep that in mind. Which brings us lastly to recommendations. Who is this for?
I would recommend this for most people, honestly.
Literally anybody. If you can handle the heights, right? That's it. You just have to be able to get up those gondolas or take that train and you're going to have a good time. I think it's really fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would agree. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, and check out our other videos if you're interested in more things to do in that area. And not to mention, meet me in the comments. Tell me if you've been, if you're thinking about going, or if you want to add it to your itinerary, let me know. And until next time, guys, take it easy.
Bye.